Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. So excited to get into today's topic. People are always asking, should I hit the snooze button? Is it okay to hit the snooze button? Will I really harm my natural circadian rhythm and energy levels by doing so? So I want to share with you this, that it might feel great to hit that snooze button, get those extra couple minutes of rest, but I will tell you what the research definitively says and what I've seen in my clinical practice, and that is that habitual snoozers, people that hit that snooze button most days of the week, report lower sleep quality despite similar sleep duration. Meaning, like, when you look at their sleep, even though they're hitting the snooze button, they're not actually getting more sleep. They start to fall into what feels like a new sleep stage in slumber, but it's not the more deeper restorative states. So what is actually happening? When you hit the snooze button, you're telling your natural hormones, your circadian rhythm, just kidding, it's not time to wake up. It was all ready to go. It was ready to do what? Introduce the cortisol awakening response. That is that surge of cortisol you're supposed to get when you wake up in the morning, typically between 6 and 8 a.m. What it does then is it acts as your natural cup of coffee from the morning, as long as your cortisol levels are healthy and strong. If you don't know if you're healthy, if you have healthy, strong cortisol levels, run the stress mood and metabolism test. You can find it at stevencabral.com/hormones-test. You can see exactly what it is, or you can run it with any integrative health practitioner level 2 that you want. Your decision. But if you wake up groggy, and you wake up feeling like, I need caffeine right away, there is something wrong with your natural energy production, and that's going to affect your inflammation, mitochondria, and much more, your overall health over the coming weeks, months, and years. So definitely get that in check, get that fixed. But the other thing that I wanted to share with you is that once you hit the snooze button, you are introducing a new sleep-based stage. So as we start to move from lighter sleep, right, then we start to go down to deep sleep, we start to go into REM sleep. Now, you're probably not going to hit that right away. If you get into deeper sleep, because you snooze for another 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and your body's exhausted and just go right back, what can happen is you break that sleep cycle again. And if you wake up mid-sleep cycle, that includes waking up with an alarm as well, you're going to feel groggy. You didn't wake up naturally. So my highest suggestion is, in general, we'll talk about this towards the end, is that you don't even use an alarm clock. You may need it sometimes, we'll talk about that as well, but in general, waking up out of a sleep cycle is always going to leave you feeling hungover, with brain fog, just groggy, like a zombie, right? I totally get it. I've been there before. That used to be the story of my life, honestly, until I was able to fix that in my late 20s. So the extra 5 minutes to 15 minutes of sleep, or what feels like sleep, is not worth the trade-off. It confuses your circadian rhythm. It literally just says, oh, there's the alarm. We'll start producing cortisol. Just kidding. We're going back to bed. Alarm goes off again. Okay, time to wake up. Just kidding. We hit the snooze button again. That is not how you want to train your nervous system, your autonomic nervous system, in your natural hormone production. It throws off your cortisol, which is part of your adrenals, right? Production of the adrenals. It can then throw off your thyroid and even sex hormone production, such as testosterone and estrogen. So it is a surefire way to backfire on your hormones. All right, so studies show that snoozing can increase morning grogginess and reduce mental performance compared to waking up immediately. That was a study done by Sleep Medicine Reviews in 2020. And again, pretty definitive, but we know this in everyday life. We see this in our clinic all the time. So what's the solution? Well, the solution is this. If you have the ability to hit the snooze button, honestly, if you have the ability to hit the snooze button, set your alarm for later. You want to set your alarm for the latest possible time you can wake up. That's the truth. And ideally, you wake up naturally before that alarm. And your body will start to wake up naturally before the alarm if you set that time for the same time each day. Yes, the weekends you can give yourself a little extra time to sleep in, but ideally, you are going to bed within a half hour the same time every night, and you are waking up within a half hour the same time every day. That will train your natural diurnal rhythm up and down, right? Awake and asleep, which is called your circadian rhythm. The hours we work during the day, 6:30, we'll say in the morning till 6:30 at night, and then our down hour, 6:30 at night to 6:30 in the morning. We need that. As humans, we need up and down. We need breakdown, which is catabolism, and building up of the body, which is anabolism. We work as natural diurnal 2 times a day, right? Beings. So this is extremely important. The other part is this. I can't recommend it enough. I wish I owned stock in it, but I don't. I recommend a wake light. I use the Philips Wake Light. It's all my resources are at stephencabral.com/resources. All it does is it starts to brighten. This lamp brightens, no EMFs, anything like that. It brightens every minute for 30 minutes until you wake up. So basically you wake up by light, like the sun, naturally producing that cortisol. So you wake up refreshed. That's how you should wake up. Okay. The next part is if you don't wake up by the 30-minute mark because you are just totally knocked out, you didn't get enough sleep, you went to bed too late. Okay. It starts to chirp. A bird begins to chirp. And it gets louder progressively over the minutes as well. So eventually you wake up gently out of that sleep cycle instead of the ear raid siren, waking you out of your sleep forcefully. Neither is good. You don't want to hit the snooze button, but you don't also want to be forcefully woken up. Choose your favorite wake light, but I'll tell you right now, it was a game changer in resetting my circadian rhythm. And if you have difficulty falling asleep, we need to get you asleep. We really do. Take full spectrum magnesium at dinner, typically 2 capsules and 2 capsules of Adrenal Soothe, which will calm your nervous system and lower those cortisols at night. And if you still can't fall asleep or stay asleep, take 1 or 2 droppers of the liquid melatonin. You can find all of those at stephencabral.com/shop. I can't link them up today, but what I can link up is I can link up previous shows and the show notes at stephencabral.com/3492. But again, if you have any questions, if we're able to help in any way, let us know. I love being able to share with you the clinical research, but also what we see happen, like the scientific research on PubMed. This is what it shows. But also, I like to share with you what I see work in the real world. We work with hundreds of thousands of people each and every year with their labs, and I like to be able to share that data with you. If you want to find out more about your cortisol levels, more about your sleep, more about your hormones and thyroid, you can check out that hormones test called the Stress, Mood, and Metabolism Test at stephencabral.com/hormones-test. We can also link that up here today at stephencabral.com/3492. Have an amazing rest of the week, and as always, if the show was helpful, do feel free to share it with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.